teenage pregnancies, gender-based violence, prostitution, crime. These are the negative activities that ordinarily follow mining development activities. Alternate diverse business and livelihood opportunities, on the other hand, can also be the positives that come along with economic development projects or activities. But one thing is very clear: women and girls always, almost exclusively, find themselves in the negative bracket. Black granite mining in Mutoko has brought little to no development since the 1990s, after the classification of the resource as a mineral. But the negatives keep piling up and women bear the brunt of it. Let's talk about employment. In the era of equality, equal access to opportunities, the labor dynamics in the granite mining industry in Mutoko are skewed, with a large percentage of those working in the industry being men. 95%. 95% of the people working in the industry are men. Not only that, in the case of Mutoko, most of these men are from outside Mutoko. How is this detrimental to Mutoko women? Not only are they not benefiting, but their husbands, brothers, fathers, who traditionally are the breadwinners, are also scraping on the sidelines of the granite gravy train. And the few men from Mutoko working in the mines are no better. The granite mining companies are notorious for late payment of salaries, slave wage salaries at that. These wages are insufficient for men to take care of their families in an industry worth $12.5 million annually. Gender-based violence is ripe in Mutoko, not because this is a violent community, but because this is a frustrated community. Underpaid husbands lash out at their wives. But we live in the 21st century, where women can and must provide for their families too, one can argue. As a matter of fact, women in Mutoko were the backbone of the horticulture industry in the country for the longest time. But granite mining companies are dumping rubble on their productive land, digging and not reclaiming pits on arable land, forcefully evicting families from their productive lands. The few women who still can produce horticulture products are failing to make a profit. Why? Because heavy-duty trucks that ferry the granite out of Mutoko have destroyed the little that was left of the road network. So the few transporters who are willing to risk their vehicles transporting produce from Mutoko to Harare charge exorbitant prices. This lowers the profit margins for the women. Not only that, women and children have to walk long distances on this road, which endangers them. So many unruly elements have invaded Mutoko in search of the riches promised by the black granite. What is even worse is that the little land that these women make a living out of is slowly becoming unsustainable, as sand that is gathered from the various mining sites, the road siltation washes into the women's gardens, lowering their yields. This leaves women with no alternate source of livelihoods. And without viable livelihoods, women and girls are forced into nefarious activities, leading down to unwanted and teenage pregnancies, diseases, and death. It's a lose-lose situation for the girls and women. Women are the custodians of their home in rural communities like Mutoko, charged with the traditional roles of fetching firewood, fetching water for the home. Ordinarily, these are easy tasks. Well, not so easy, but relatively doable under normal circumstances. But Mutoko can be hardly said to be operating under normal circumstances. The drying of sources of water due to extensive obstruction of water by granite companies means women have to travel longer distances to fetch water. Not only that, but fencing of granite mining sites block rural footpaths that connects communities to their sources for firewood and water. Living with so much hardships in the midst of so much natural wealth, the population of Mutoko stands at an estimated 12,000. This figure has been in sharp decline, meaning people are just not giving birth at the same or increased rate. Why? Everybody loves procreation. Blame it on the black granite. Men at the black granite mines are overworked, underpaid, and if injured, uninsured. Not a recipe for romance. Women in Mutoko complain that their overworked husbands do not have time for late-night shenanigans between the sheets, as they will be too tired or too stressed to get it up. Needless to say, when a financially frustrated man or a sexually frustrated wife argue, domestic violence is inevitable. What is the solution? Spread the wealth. Granite mining companies collectively make over $12 million annually. But this wealth is in the hands of the few. The granite mining industry in Mutoko is insufficiently regulated. This is where the government can come in. Women's pressure groups, because as long as men are being underpaid and cannot meet their family obligations, cases of GBV will dominate Mutoko. EMA, the Environmental Management Agency, needs to have more bite to safeguard the environment and the way of life of the Mutoko people. For as long as women and girls are expected to walk hundreds of kilometers to fetch water, the dream of their development will always be a pipe dream. Mining companies are by law supposed to reforest, revegetate the forests that they are decimating. Mutoko women have been sustainably using these forests as a source of firewood for generations. But in one fell swoop, the mining companies have deforested and desertified the once green land. Granite mining in Mutoko has brought little to no joy for women, girls, and children. Because mining companies by law are allowed to prospect and relocate families, many have been forced to move. A minority number of cases has seen families compensated, but the majority of the people have been forcibly evicted, leaving them homeless. Women are the ones who are tasked to take care of their children and elderly in the homestead. But when there is no homestead, the task becomes Herculean in nature. Mutoko women have always been proud providers, standing toe to toe with their male counterparts in being productive. Their dignity has been stolen, but maybe it's time it's restored.